Hello there, welcome to another We've Been Here video. Today's video, we're gonna just have a discussion, and I think I want to make this like a new series of mine, to where sometimes we can just have discussions, and I don't know what I'm gonna call them. For now, they're gonna be titled Let's Talk. And let's talk about Apex Season 15, the update, the patch notes. I want to get involved more so in, I guess, these kind of discussions because I think they're needed sometimes, and people have them on all different kinds of social medias like Reddit or maybe Twitter or Facebook if people are still on that thing. But the point I'm trying to make here is this season's update was really just head scratching and frustrating. If we just go into the patch notes and look at some of the stuff, one of the things I want to talk about is stickers, right? So stickers, can I highlight? Yes, stickers, that right there. This bugs me because it is the clearest sign of a cash grab I think I've like ever seen. And I've seen some pretty bad stuff, right? I've played a lot of Call of Duty games. Basically EA in general, EA just does the most with their cash grabbing tactics. And who in their right mind genuinely cares about seeing this? Who asked for this? Who asked for that? Why is that a thing? Okay, hold up. Advertisement blew up my ears. Who asked for that? Seriously. Oh, it was this, not an advertisement. Who asked for a shield battery, a Phoenix kit to have these kind of stickers? Who asked for that? And why is it a problem? You might think, oh, but no, it's, something they added in the game. Cool, why not? The problem is that you can pull those off of the loot boxes, the Apex packs. And what does that mean? It means way more items to get before you can get the stuff that you actually care about. No one in their right mind should care about these, but it's just like yesterday I got on and they were charging money for shield, sticker pack 1 or whatever, series 1. I was just dumbfounded because it's like people are actually gonna do that, and I don't know why, but that's pretty freaking ridiculous that you're gonna bother putting that kind of stuff in the game when no one's realistically gonna care about it. And someone might have gotten it just for the heck of it because it was only 300 Apex coins, but don't put that crap in my loot pool, man. Like, that's my loot pool, my Apex pack loot pool. Yeah, don't put it in there. Obviously when you pull once, it's forever gone, but that sucks. And then we go into the balance updates. RE45 enters, Mastiff returns. Okay, not bad, right? Not bad. We keep going. Oh, these are the gold weapons, whatever. Anvil receiver added to the floor loot and crafting bundles. Some people are like, okay, obviously the R301 and the flatline did not need a buff, but sure, let's add a hop up anyway because it makes the game more interesting and more fun. Okay, well, look at all the hop ups they reduced. They nerfed turbocharger. I don't know who asked for that. They took out hammer point rounds. They took out boosted loader. Man, this thing sucks at hiding. They took out boosted loader. They took out kinetic feeder. Excuse me? Like, we're gonna buff the R301. We're gonna buff the flatline. And it's not even about that mode being the Anvil receiver mode being stronger than the regular mode. It's about the versatility in that now you have a gun that can shoot longer range and actually be worth a damn. Same with the flatline, because before they were not good long range weapons. Well, now they are. Now they can do both. You don't need to worry about not having a longer range weapon. That's what they are now. And I like, seriously, who asked for the turbocharger nerf? I'm genuinely curious on who was complaining, saying this gun was too strong. It was already hard to find the hop up. Now when you find it, you're making your gun weaker. Why is that a thing? It's just stupid. It's such a small nerf, I understand, but the logic behind it is just so beyond my comprehension, I guess. And then this one, above all else, is just horrible. Hammer points gone? Do you know how bad the P20 already was? Sorry, my hair keeps getting in my face, man. It's just false. Well, whatever, I'm gonna have to deal with it. Anyway, do you know how bad the P20 already was? Seriously, it's considered the worst gun in the game. Hammer points was essential if you were gonna remotely try and use that weapon. And the Mozam was actually pretty decent with hammer points. Without it, it's garbage. With hammer points, it made it a decent gun. You play with arenas, people are like, I'm not really trying to rock this weapon unless it has hammer points. But when it has hammer points, it's like, okay, it's worth it. And you take it out of the game. Why? Why are we making the worst guns worse and the best guns better? What is the logic behind that? And I was reading the Q&A from the Apex developer saying, oh, this is before the patch notes and all that stuff came out. It was like 3 weeks ago. Or a month ago, something like that. Saying that they don't want to make every gun like super strong because you need guns for the early game, you need guns for the late game. You want certain kind of guns that you can just pick up and you have to use it because there's nothing else around. Well, let me just say this. P2020, yeah, okay, sure, pick it up if you have no other gun. But you know how often it is that you land and there's guns other than the P20? You know how often that it is that once I find another gun, I'm gonna drop the P20? Every match, as long as I don't die right away, the P2020 will get dropped. Why is that gun in the loophole then if it's just gonna get dropped immediately? It serves no purpose. You can't, like, at least in Call of Duty, it's like, oh, you're out of ammo. Switch to your secondary because you could even switch out faster. Boom, 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 boom. No one's gonna be carrying a P2020. It makes no sense. There is no use for the weapon at all. Mozam, same thing. Why is anyone gonna rock that when there's the Mastiff, there's the Eva? Who's rocking the Mozam? Eva has double tap. What does the Mozam have? Nothing. The Mastiff doesn't need double tap. It does way more damage than the Mozam. Peacekeeper is in the crafting rotation. Obviously, it doesn't have kinetic feeder anymore, which again is just stupid, but it's still way better than the Mozam. It just does way more damage. And for some reason, let's just make these guns worse. I just don't know who thought that was a good idea. That's just stupid. Boosted loader. Who thought it was a good idea to nerf the Hemlock? Who thought it? I mean, Wingman doesn't need a buff or a nerf. It's fine. I'm dumbfounded at how stupid some of these decisions are. Like, there's nothing wrong with keeping boost loader or hammer points around. You already nerfed turbocharger. Fine. If you want to remove kinetic feeder, so be it. I don't think it doesn't make the Peacekeeper. Does it make it better and more cool? Yes, but it doesn't like make the weapon. Same with triple take. It's not like you're like, oh, I have to slide. Boosted loader hammer points you could have kept. I just don't. You only added one hop up. Why'd you have to remove 3? It just doesn't make sense to me. And double tap trigger, by the way, the scout is definitely better. I was in firing range and I was like, damn, this is definitely way better. If we can go down and just M600 Spitfire enters the crafter. Peacekeeper enters the crafter. Whatever, it's not a problem. P2020 returns to the floor. Havoc returns to the floor. P2020 is the worst gun in the game and it's not even close. It's complete utter garbage. Rampage got a little buff. Cool. Rampage and Sentinel. Kind of, yeah, it's a buff, but like not a big buff. Can recharge the Rampage after Sentinel before previous charge has expired, which is kind of cool. I don't know why it was there to begin with, to be honest, but because now that it's there, it just makes sense. Mastiff, again, now since it's off of the care package, it has to, get back to floor loot level weapon. RE45 going in there. L-Star still hot garbage. You reduced recoil at the beginning of the pattern. I tested that gun in firing range with the purple barrel stabilizer. That gun still sucks. Freaking balls. And it's just so frustrating how... Oh, God. Stow animations adjusted to match better timings. Volt SMG. Reduce projectile speed. Increase projectile gravity. I don't know who asked for a Volt nerf. Because to be honest, in all honesty, the most overpowered guns in the game are the ones you buffed. So why are we nerfing a weapon that doesn't need to be nerfed? Now, in terms of SMGs, is it better than all of them? I would say so. Some people might disagree with me, but I would say that it is. So from that standpoint, sure. But when you buff the 2 strongest guns in the game, it's just like, I don't get it. What are we doing? Like, what are y'all going for? Are you saying SMGs are too strong? Because they're not at all. Triple take, it kind of got like a rework because the choke charge time was reduced. The rate of fire increased. So it takes a little longer to shoot it, but the choke time reduces faster. So I guess they're trying to say is use it as intended, wait for the choke time to charge up before you shoot. Whatever. R99 got a super small buff. Projectile growth speed reduced. I want to say that's a nerf. This change I do like. Ring 1 pre-shrink time increased from 60 to 90 seconds. It felt too fast before, like you didn't have enough time to loot. Now you have 30 more seconds. Quality of life, whatever, all this other stuff. And that's it. That's it. That's all they did. Now, one of my other biggest problems with this update that everyone pointed out on the Reddit, how are legends not changed? How are those the only guns that were touched? What are we doing? Now, let's take a look at all these legends, okay? So, I can tell you right off the top of my head, Revenant might be one of the worst legends in the game and we didn't touch him. Like, the devs did not bother. And that's just like, how can you look at this guy and say, yeah, he's right where he should be. He is fine. He's horrible. Why? There's like Revenant's passive sucks so bad because his passive is he gets to crawl up whatever faster, right? Why not just be Valkyrie? Instead of crawling up, why don't you just fly up? It's way faster, way more efficient. You don't need walls. Why not just be Pathfinder? Zip up the wall or zip around and have a mobility in other kinds of places. The only real thing that you get from that is that you crouch walk faster. But is that really a big deal? I can still hear people when they crouch, just more silent. But if you want a sound horror, you can catch that. You'll be fine. You'll hear the clink, 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 clink. I'll hear the Revenant, bro. His L1 does no damage. Sure, it stops him for 20 seconds, but I just don't see how that's viable. His ultimate, cool concept. Nothing about it works. Nothing about Revenant works, and it's frustrating because you didn't touch him. You said he was fine. You think these legends are fine? First of all, Vantage, I don't know how she could be considered good. Maybe you'll wait it out with her in the meta. If she doesn't have a place in the meta, though, let me just be honest. Because why would you have her when you could just be another mobile legend? Hold your L1, bat. No, how about you just be Pathfinder then? You want to fly up? How about you just be Horizon, Valkyrie? Oh, but it's her scope that we really like. Is that really essential? Is her passive really essential to where we can see her armor and the legend? Maybe some people really like it. I just don't see it. And her ultimate, it's fun. I'll give him that. 5 bullets isn't a lot, but it's fun. I just don't think she's really worth the damn if you're being competitive. Seer's obviously taking over. Everyone's beating him. He's in every team. Valkyrie got nerfed, but she's still solid. Rampart plays a role, so I'm not tripping, right? Newcastle got his buff. Mirage sucks, right? And it baffles me to think that if you get his heirloom, that is a nerf. Why is that a nerf? Because when you carry his heirloom, it's like that little Oscar kind of trophy. Well, his decoys don't carry that. That's a nerf. Why is it a nerf for me to spend a heirloom shards on Mirage? That makes no sense. It's dumb. And he isn't good at all. And you're saying he doesn't need to be touched? It's just mind-boggling. I'm fine with these three, right? I feel like they play the roles in a way. You know, Lifeline got her buff. Horizon, you know, she's fine. Loba's fine. Mad Maggie's fine. Gibraltar's fine. Fuse still sucks. I think only people really beat him in arenas. Crypto, I really don't see a whole lot of people beating him too often. I'm sure he plays a role in some sense. Caustic sucks. Catalyst is new. We'll wait that out. Bloodhound, I feel like it's just completely overtaken by Seer, but you can't touch Bloodhound because Bloodhound's already solid. Ashe, she's whatever. Bangalore, I just think she sucks. But more than anything, it's just been a long time since you guys have touched the legends in a way where it can change things up, change up the meta. You know, let's get something new going. But I'm just, as a Revenant main, I'm frustrated as hell with that. Caustic, again, is just not good. It's too dependent on people getting close up to you, and they can shoot it with ease. It's not a problem. If you get a veteran playing against a Caustic, you just shoot the bottom of the barrel. That thing doesn't even explode gas. Like, okay, you just defeated my whole purpose of being here as this legend. And Fuse is just not good. He's just not good. It's just, I feel like the landscape of these legends is, there's the best legends, and then there's legends that are just mid-tier. Like, you got the best legends, like, again, Seer is just so freaking good. Gibraltar is always going to be used. Someone like, you know, again, Bloodhound's still solid. Lifeline, ever since her buff, she's been, I feel like, just so much more used. Horizon being used a lot. Pathfinder especially. Then you got your mid-tier like Octane. You got your mid-tier like Rampart. Mid-tier like Watson, Vantage. You know, it's just, I just feel like there's clearly legends that are better than other legends, and that's just okay. And that, to me, I get dumbfounded by that thought every time, because the difference between legends and guns is, sure, guns have their roles, that, you know, you have guns for your early game, you have guns for late game. Well, here's the thing with legends, guys. Legends, you can't switch mid game. Legends, you are that legend the whole time. So if other legends are better than others, that's a problem. Now, if you're going in trios, you can only be one of the three. So maybe you could have some synergy. But there's a clear cut hierarchy into how these legends function. And some legends are just way better than others. Some legends just don't get picked. And that, to me, is mind-boggling, because if you're a newcomer and you're just looking at the patch notes, you're saying, oh, that means this game is balanced. It's not at all. Going into the guns, I don't understand how you can look at some of these guns. These two are the king of assault rifles. Why in the hell did we nerf the Havoc with the turbocharger? Why? The Flatline and the R301 are already the best weapons in the game. Why are we doing that? Hemlock, why are we nerfing this one when these two are the best ones in the game? Why? What is the thought process behind that? Somebody please give me a valid reason as to why we're nerfing the two worst assault rifles and we're getting better already. Not just the two best assault rifles, but the best weapons in the game. What? Please, somebody explain that to me. And we just keep going. Right? Okay. So the Volt, yes, I think it's definitely the best SMG. It was the best SMG in the game. I haven't tested it now. I don't know now, but it definitely was. R99 got a small buff. I just think that SMGs, I feel like at this point in time, unless you're like super close to them, which I guess you could say is their purpose, they're freaking useless. Prowler, if you don't have extended mags and if you're not close to them, it sucks balls. Volt got nerfed because it was actually decent to like not mid-range but like super close mid-range, if that makes sense, because there's close range like point blank and then there's like 15 feet away. I feel like the Volt was really good in that close mid-range distance to where you could be like a house or two away and it'd still do the job. Alternator I think is solid, but it's never going to be the best because of its DP damage per se. Yeah, DPS. R99 just got a small buff. R99 just got a small buff. Car, I hate that it doesn't have the laser, but I understand it because it's a hybrid. But it just feels like the SMGs are far and away worse than the 2 ARs. Like, why wouldn't I just carry I don't know, a 30-30 and a R3? Why wouldn't I just carry a flatline and a sentinel or a charge rifle or some, or a shotgun? You know what I mean? I feel like having that peacekeeper option is probably better than SMGs, but again, peacekeepers in the rotation now. But I don't know, SMGs just feel a little off. Why in the world we thought the devotion deserved a nerf is beyond me. It's not like it was good anyway. L-Star still sucks. They just that gun just needs help. Spitfire's okay. Ever since the nerf though, I'm not a fan. The recoil pattern is just annoying. Rampage, it's obviously in the care supply drop care package, whatever it's called. Marksman weapons I feel like are at a pretty good spot. G7 got a buff. 30-30 is really good with the past update. What I don't understand is the worst of the four. Maybe you could argue that G7 Scout was the worst, but in my opinion, it was a triple take. They nerfed the triple take. Was it a big nerf? No. No, it was not. Because, let's be honest, kinetic feeder wasn't essential. But, sorry. Maybe, now I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. Maybe they increased the rate of fire and reduced the choke time because they were getting kinetic feeder removed and they wanted to keep it balanced. That's probably what it was. I'm not sure. So maybe it didn't get nerfed. Maybe that rework did it just fine. Back to what I was saying. I think marksman weapons are okay right now. They're at a pretty decent spot. Snipers, I don't know. I feel like snipers are interesting and they're fun for a lot of the more veteran players. If you're a beginner, I don't think really any of them are going to do you justice. But I don't feel like there's a clear-cut discrepancy of like one being better than the other. So I think really what's fine is the marksman and snipers. I think light machine guns suck. SMGs are in a weird spot, at least it feels like, because they all feel so unreliable. Like seriously, I feel like they all have their negatives, as opposed to the R3 and the flatline. They're just so good, and the R3 one's a freaking laser, and you buffed it. Again, it's just confusing. And then we go to shotguns, and it's like, okay, this doesn't even belong. It shouldn't exist. At this point in time, the Mozab shouldn't exist. Like, you took away its sole purpose for being okay, for being pretty decent, and actually having like a purpose. You took away its purpose. Now it's just like, these two guns, stay away from. There's no point in running the P20 and Mozam. What are we doing? EVA 8, Peacekeeper Mastiff. You could just, I guess, go back and forth from which one you like the most. Obviously, the EVA 8, you need the double tap for it to be remotely viable. Go ahead and pistols. Again, I can't show snuff, shouldn't exist. These two are fine. But I'm really just frustrated with the update because they did, again, I went over it pretty heavily. I feel like this video is pretty long. They made some head scratching moves where it's just like, I don't understand what you were going for. I don't get it at all. But yeah, that would make our first ever Let's Talk kind of discussion video. And today we talked about Apex and the new update, and I am hopeful that further down the line they fix some blatantly obvious things. Mainly meaning the legend discrepancy the hierarchy of the highest and how bad the lowest are compared to the highest. And then the weapons, P20 and Mozam need to find a home. Right now, they took away their purpose, and then making the Arthur one, the flatline, even better when they were already the best weapons of the game is just head scratching. SMGs feel like they're in a wonky place right now. It's just the whole update was really just head scratching and frustrating. And then especially adding stickers showing your I don't want to say political side, but showing your scumbag side of just clear cut cash grabbing and just making the game worse for players, to be honest. Yeah, it is what it is. But appreciate y'all for talking. I'm gonna continue to hope the best for Apex, because I don't want to give up on a game that I think has good attributes and good concepts and ideas. But my God, was this update stupid. Anyway, appreciate y'all for watching. As always, this is Ollie Been Different. Oh, we've been different. And we out.